Well, thank you all very much. My name is Roger Williams. I represent the 25th District of Texas in the United States Congress and also have coached the Republican Congressional Baseball Team. This morning, as you know, we were attacked by a gunman at our press conference. There will be those who will talk about what's wrong with America, but in this case, Officers Griner and Bailey, we saw what's right with America. We saw two people risk their lives to save the lives of others. We saw courage in the face of death. And we saw examples of why all Americans should be grateful every day for law enforcement officers around this country. There could have easily been 25 deaths or more today. I think we had 25 team players and about 15 staff. But Officers Griner and Bailey prevented that, and my family and I will be forever grateful. The thin blue line held today. And law enforcement officers everywhere should be proud. And Americans everywhere should be thankful that this is still the kind of country that still produces these kinds of heroes. So I ask everybody to join me in praying for the victims and for their full recoveries before you go to bed tonight. I'll be happy to take some questions. I will briefly just tell you my story. I was on the third base side hitting ground balls to Trent Kelly and Ron DeSantis. Little did I know that the perpetrator was probably 20 yards from me. I went around the first base side to hit Congressman Scalise's ground balls. I did that. The first one I hit him, the shots went off. I heard the first shot, and I wasn't sure. I thought maybe it was a backfiring of a car, but then the second and the third, and everybody yelled, "He's got a gun, run for cover." And that's what I did, and fortunately I was on the first base side, and just emotions take over. I ran to the first base dugout, which is in the ground about 7 feet, and I literally dove into that dugout. It'd be like diving, I guess, into a swimming pool with no water. But I did, and in there were some of my other colleagues. Zack Barth, who works for me, was shot while he was retrieving balls in the outfield. When I got into the dugout, it wasn't 10 seconds. Then Zack had come running in from the outfield, and we landed in each other's arms. He held me, I held him. Jeff Flake took his belt off and made a tourniquet around Zack's leg to stop the bleeding. I remember, and Chuck Fleischman was on the phone to 911 screaming to hurry up and get here. Jack Barton, Joe's son, was in the dugout with us, and we were all taking care of him. Just trying to take care of each other. There was a lot of heroes today among my friends. It's something I will not forget. It seemed like it went forever. The police say they got here in about 3 or 4 minutes, and I'm sure that's the case. But it's a long time. They say 60 shots were fired. But without our Capitol Police, who literally took a step forward when they didn't have to, they could have stepped backwards. They stepped forward. They saved all of us out there. There is no question about it. We had no arms. All we had was bats and the shooter. But I'm praying for Whip Scalise, the policeman, Micah, and then my young man that works for us in our office, Zach, who will be fine. So with that, I'll be glad to take some questions. Do you have any? Yes, ma'am.
What have you heard about Steve Scalise's condition. Have you talked to him?
I have not talked to him, but I understand all the reports I get that he's doing well, out of surgery. I'm not a doctor, but all reports are he's going to make a full recovery. Yes, ma'am.
Congressman, you came in here with crutches, an injury from today. Were you?
Yeah.
Were you the other congressman that had?
I forgot about that. I guess when I dove into the dugout, I have done something. I've been to the hospital in Alexandria, took really good care of me. I want to thank the nurses and the doctors. I'll be going back to Texas after the game tomorrow night to let my doctors see what they need to do as far as my ankle and my leg and my feet. But that's the injury I have. It's an ankle, leg injury that they have got me going to where I can move around and be okay tomorrow at the game, and then I'll go home tomorrow night to get fixed. Everybody did what they needed to do. A lot of brave people serve in the United States Congress. Yes, sir.
Can you elaborate on your staffer's condition? I think Representative Barton said he had been released from hospital.
He has been released from the hospital. He was shot in the leg. He was in the outfield. I'll give him credit. I think Zack is probably 23, 24. All the time he was bleeding and we were under fire, he was texting. He was texting, letting people know we were under fire and that we needed help. So he's doing great. Vice President Pence has spoken to him. I'm grateful for that, for his talking to Zack. So he's on the road to recovery. Yes, ma'am.
Congressman, will the team plan on having practice tomorrow morning? I know the game's still set to be on, but what about practice?
Well, some of us are on the injured reserve list right now. But I think we were supposed to have breakfast tomorrow. That's been canceled, I believe. And I believe what we will have is get there a little early tomorrow night, maybe have a little prayer service or something, and then play baseball. And if you're not sure which one I'll be the one coaching third on crutches. Okay. But we plan, yeah, we're going to play. We need to play. This is a game that's been going on for over 100 years. It goes to charity, and we need to play this baseball game. And so I'm excited that we decided to do that. I talked to the speaker today about it, told him that I felt like we should play. And I know he talked to Congressman Doyle and Congressman Barton. We all agreed we need to play baseball. So.
Can you follow through that thought for us? Why is it important to get out there and play tomorrow?
Well, that's a great question. I think it's important because I think these people that want to destroy our lives and our livelihood here in America, they win if we give in. America doesn't give out. America doesn't give in. And we must play this baseball game. If we don't play this baseball game and we go home, then they win. So that's the reason. This is America, the greatest country in the world. If you punch us, we will punch back. And we're going to play baseball tomorrow.
Congressman, Mike Bishop described the situation here as, he said, quote, "We were sitting ducks. Guns saved our lives." Can you comment on that as far as what you were feeling in this?
Well, it took the second shot for me to understand what was happening and hear everybody. And we were sitting ducks. I mean, we had nothing to fight back with at bats if it got to that. We were sitting ducks. I think he was not able to get on the field because the gate was locked on the other side. If he'd gotten on the field, it could have been a bad situation, but he wasn't able to do that. But we were sitting ducks. I mean, you've got 40 people on a baseball stadium field, and at 7 o'clock in the morning, he just decided to shoot. And so Bishop was right when he said that. That was a good way to say it. In the back.
I have two questions. Are you sure whether Scalise was hit with that first bullet that was shot? Did it seem like anybody was struck with that bullet, maybe your staffer? And also, you were pretty emotional off the top when you were talking about Officers Griner and Bailey And I'm just wondering if you've had a chance to catch up with them and thank them for, like as you said, saving everybody's life today.
I haven't personally thanked them, I will be, but I'm thanking them again right here. They saved everybody's life. They literally did that. And you know, I represent Fort Hood, and they teach our military to take a step forward, not a step back when you're in combat. These guys and gals did it. So it is emotional. It's an emotional day, and when you think about your family, you think about your friends, you think about being in that position. It's emotional.
And do you know whether Scalise was shot with that first?
You know, I don't know. I've heard, and I have no backup to this, that the first shot that we all heard was actually shot at Trent Kelly, who was at third base. And then Trent ran. So I don't know which bullet got who. I don't know which one got Zack or Steve. But, yes, ma'am.
Congressman, how do you feel about your personal security after what happened today, and what do you think should change around members' personal security?
Well, I frankly haven't thought about it. I know there's a lot of conversation if we should have security or what as individual congresspeople. It's a job that you're very people are very aware of you and where you are. I think we need to think about it. Although I thought Speaker Gingrich put it well today when he said one of the great things about having elected government is you can talk to your elected officials. And when you're in Congress, we represent all about 800,000 people in our district. Some didn't vote for us, some did, but we represent all of them. And it's a slice of America, and people need to be able to talk to us. So I think it's a dialogue we're going to have, but we want to be able to keep where we have open government. But I will tell you, I'll be frank with you. I mean, here I am, a congressman, and, you know, every now and then you'd like to have a friend on one side of you. But I haven't decided that. I believe in open government, and I thought Speaker Gingrich really put it well today when he talked about that. Yes, ma'am.
Are you concerned that the current political climate is encouraging violence, and if so, what do you think Americans should do about it?
Well, I don't know if I want to talk about that today. I don't know. This person evidently had an issue, and I don't think it was a Democratic Republican issue. He just had an issue. Nobody condones this. I do think, candidly, that our rhetoric in this country could be turned down a little bit. The tone could be turned down a little bit. But that's what we have to work on and continue to talk about it. Yes, ma'am.
Do you think security plans for the game tomorrow are going to be altered? Like, will there be an increasing amount of officers, or will there be like the same amount of plans?
Well, I mean, I don't know what the plan was to begin with, but I would think that I'm hoping, since it's a charity, we'll have more people than we would have had. You know, we normally have 25,000 people at this game. And that stadium holds 50. Maybe we can have 50,000 there tomorrow. That would help challenge the security. But I don't know, but I'm not worried about that because we have the best security people, as I said earlier, anywhere. They're going to do the right thing. Everybody, not just the Congress people, but everybody will be protected, and to the extent they need to be. So I don't worry about that. I hope we have a lot more people at the game.
Can you tell us about how Micah is doing?
Well, I've only heard again. Micah, a lovely man, a friend of all of ours. I think he was shot in the torso area, so I've heard that just through his family that his condition is improving, and everybody's praying for Micah. So.
Mr. Williams, back to the security situation. Do you think in this particular instance anything could have been done differently while recognizing the heroism of the Capitol police officers, that something could have been done differently for this? And let me ask you this, because I've heard other members say this. Would you feel safer if you had the ability to carry